Well, to start our journey inside, from the outside to the inside, we are going to listen a very beautiful song, which is called You Are Here Before. This song, a friend of mine, which is also a student of the workshop, and is a friend of Aixa. That because of her, Aixa is here today. And her name is Maria, but he's a student from the first level, from beginners. Has sent me this song yesterday, and I love this song. So I thought to share it with you today to begin our meeting. Let's hear it. It is like a highway to the inside. This is Sahasha. This is Monte Sahasha. And the song is played by a girl, by Elizabeth, that she is there.
Hey guys, my name is Elizabeth and I will be playing a song called You Were Here Before. And this song I wrote a couple of years ago after watching a satsang, and it was very clear after that if I just lay my eyes only on him, everything will be alright, and everything is alright. And I thank Muji Baba for showing me that. Thank you. If I lay my eyes, if I lay my eyes, if I lay my eyes only on you, I will lay my eyes, I will lay I will lay my eyes only on you. I would search the world, oh Lord, I'd search the world, oh, I'd search the world until I found you. I could not believe it, I could not believe it, I could not believe it, but I don't have to, 'cause you're here before. my eyes. I will lay my eyes. I will lay my eyes only on you. I will lay my eyes. I will lay my eyes. I will lay my eyes only on you.
Well, my friends, I love this song because it's like a highway to our hearts. What does the title mean? You are here before. It means what? That God is always here. we in this journey that is very short, as Mushi says, from here to here, or from the outside to the inside. Because she said, I would search the world to find you. But in the journey, what does she discover? That he is always here. He is always with us. And in the journey, we discover that even the word with disappears. Because what we feel, there is no separation. When we connect with, and why? Because God is not something separate from us. He is what? He is our essence. That's the true meaning of what? That our essence is divine, that we are sons of God. The other day I listened to a video of Mushi, and he said that it is not even true that we are sons of God, but that for us is very difficult to assimilate this notion, this that we are God. So that because to experience this, we have to go beyond thought and of mental constructions. But we can experience it. And in meditation and in contemplation, when we just make this space, we can feel it, we can experience it. I'm sure that maybe just for some instance, but it can be felt. And that's why he says that spirituality is something experiential. He says, I'm not asking you to believe me, just do it. And just be it. So, well, we were talking about our essence, that our essence is divine. And what is God? What is the divine essence? Love. So let's see what our masters say about love. That it's something that is different from the love we are used to see, or is different from the concept of love that we have. So let me share with you the screen. I don't know where is it. Wait a minute, my friends. I'm not finding the. Here is it. Okay. Well, let's see. You are seeing the screen, the PowerPoint on the screen? Well, let's see. Let's start by reading some phrases about love of our masters. Let's see the first one. It's from Ananda Mahima. Ananda Mahima. What, who wants to, I will put it in a larger mode if I can. Yes, here. And here I saw you, I see you all. I was not seeing you. Okay. Who wants to read this beautiful phrase? Jose.
Yes.
Yes, you can start.
One of God's name is love. He himself resides within all and every moment, everywhere.
You know that, well, you can see that all our masters talks about the same. We were saying that God, that our essence is love. And she says, one of the God's name is love. He resides within all, at every moment, everywhere. And yesterday I was talking with Aixa, and I said to her that I remember a phrase from Mushi that he says, yes, God is everywhere, but he only enters where he's invited. So we have to invite him in our hearts. and in our life. And so what happens? We begin to see him everywhere. Well, let's see another. Wow. Here we have Papaji and Yogananda. Papaji was Mushi's guru. And what is he doing here? He's smiling. He was always smiling. I love him because of this. Because he was always smiling. And well, who wants to read the Papaji's phrase?
I read it. Aisa. Okay, so.
Vamos, Aisa. Aisa.
Oh, sorry, because I can't take off the audio, but no, do you big, you say
Yes,
first.
no, you are new here.
Okay.
You have priority.
Okay, thank you, Vic.
You are a newcomer.
Okay. We are all one. There is no separation between us. Only we do not realize it. The same is true with rocks, with trees, with birds, with rivers. You can speak with all of them, and you will see how you can get love from everything. Oh.
We were talking about it right now. The same is true. That's why, and we, before, at the beginning of our meeting, we were talking about nature. And why nature is like a direct highway to our hearts. Because in nature, what happens? There is no thought. And that's why we see, for example, the beautiful pictures of the sunsets that Pablo showed us. And we are instantly, there is a space that opens within us. And it is, he's talking about this. The same is true with rocks, with trees, with birds, with rivers. You can speak with all of them, and you will see how you can get love from everything. Okay. But, and this is also connected to what? How you can experience all this if you are what? If you are present, if you are aware. Because this is another evil of our time, that we have a lot of problems to be present and to be here. That's why we miss life, because we are always thinking about future or about past. Our lives are very busy, so we are always in a rush, thinking about what we have to do next. And Mushi always said, there is no next. You are always here and now. I remember the phrase, when we greeted each other because of the new year. They don't say Happy New Year. They say happy here now, or happy now here. Because this is life. to be here. Well, my friends, and well, Vic, you can read now the phrase of Yogananda.
Yes. The power of love is the greatest of all powers. No power of authority is greater than that. Love can conquer all. Paramahansa Yogananda.
Well, and the great news is what? That we are love. So the text that we began reading last meeting about love and attachment is about this, that why attachment appears in our life. Because we think that love is something that we have to seek or search outside. And love is something that we will find in other. That other, it may be wherever, a thing, a possession, a person will give us happiness. But we have just discovered what? That love is here, that we are love. And as Papaji says, there is no separation. Only we do not realize it. That's why this is another word that is very usual in spirituality. Realization. What is to realize? And it is connected with the title of the song. You are here before. Everything already is. That's why always he always said, Mushi says, you don't have to create. You only have to realize what already is. Well, my friends, and for this, we are here. So, well, we can start from the beginning again with the text, because the majority of you were not here last meeting. So if you want, we can read. We start by what is love for society. We just have seen what is love for the masters. But what is love for most of the people? Let's see. Who wants to read? I don't know if you can see there, and maybe I can put it this way. Ahí está. Pablo, do you want to read?
Okay. What society called love is mostly a form of mutual exploitation, where you play a role that suits me and I play a role that suits you. This transactional exchange is not love, but attachment.
Okay. What society calls love, here you see that there are a lot of practically all the verbs have the yes at the end. It is because it's simple present, and in the simple present, and it's third person. siempre la tercera persona, ¿se acuerdan? Con el presente simple se le agrega la S. Entonces, here is speaking about love. Love is third person. And with he, she, or it. So that's why it says, what society calls love is mostly a form of mutual exploitation, where you play a role that suits me. Here the I is not pronounced. No se pronuncia la I. Suits. A role that suits me, and I play a role that suits you, that fits you. Es como que we think that we have to give something to receive something else. That's why it says here that it is a kind of exchange, a transaction.
Like exchange, yes.
Yes. We in the last meeting we saw the meaning of change and exchange. That we are saying that in many cases we can, in English, we use the same word as a noun or as a verb, and in some cases we don't. But in the case of change, for example, an exchange, it is used as a verb and as a noun. That's why we say, for example, I need a change, or I need to change my clothes, or in the case of exchange, is the same. Exchange, it's very similar to Spanish also. En español también decimos cambio o intercambio. And you can talk about exchange of, and you can use it as a verb, that we can exchange or swap also. Another word that is a synonym of exchange in English is swap. We can, here we have the example of, let's swap seats so we can, you can see better. And I was saying that is something that usually happens to me when I go to the theater, for example, because I'm short. And if in front of me there is someone that is taller, I can't see. So may I ask the other person to swap seats so I can see better? Okay, let's go on with this text. Here. Mariel, do you want to read?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Whatever you are attached to will become a source of unnecessary suffering, whether it is an opinion, a memory, a belief, or a person. It is all the same.
Okay. Why? Attachment leads to suffering. Why? Because what do we feel? That if we don't have something, we are not complete. Or what? What do you think? That what happens?
I think also when we are attached, we have an attach with something.
Yes. You can say you have an attachment to something, or you are attached. Attached with ed. Okay. Se usa como el participio. Estás apegado, like in Spanish. Or so, to be, or what happens?
So when you have an attachment with something, you can feel or think that you are not enough, that you need something else to be complete.
Yes,
To be-
yes.
yes. Okay, that I
And
think is
that you
one
need
point
some,
of view.
And
you
I'm
need
happy too.
what do you say, Pablo?
And I'm happy too.
Yes. Mm. So, and it
Pablo,
is
perdón, what do you, ¿qué dijiste? What do you say?
The meaning, the attachment is
Yes.
to be unhappy if you don't have that
I'm
person,
happy.
things, or unhappy.
yes.
Okay.
And happy. To be happy, it's the opposite to be unhappy. It's, remember that we have I was here. Here. We can here. That in English we have remember that sometimes we talk about the suffixes and the prefixes in English, and some of them are formed like in Spanish. And the suffix "an" means the opposite of if it is added to the word. In the case of happy, for example, it means the opposite. Because it is a synonym of what? Or to be sad, for example. To be not complete. Okay.
When you listen, you are an infeliz.
Yeah. And yes, they
Infeliz.
say, and this prefix in Spanish almost you always is in, but in English is an, or sometimes is in also. For example, in the case of complete and incomplete. Okay. Well, but what happens here? We have the explanation. I don't know who is the turn. Jose.
Attachment is identification with something or someone who is not you.
Identification.
Identification with something or someone who is not you. We become identified. We become identified with things outside of us that provide us emotional security. We begin to believe they are a part of us, when in reality they are not.
That's why we suffer. We were talking about this, that we believe that there is something outside us that provides us emotional security. And what is worse, what is worse is that we believe that they are a part of us. They are our possession. That's why we begin to feel that when we love someone, the other is ours. And there is where the problem begins. And that, so if we lose them, we suffer. And we feel what? That a part of us has died. Is what we feel. But this is not real, my friends. Something very beautiful that spirituality has, I think that it is a change of chip. Es como un cambio de chip, ¿vieron? Que it is not that we have to be isolated and alone all our lives, but it works differently. It is what we have to learn, that que funciona diferente. We have to look first inside. And yesterday with Isa, we were talking also about the magnetism of love. Because what does it mean that it works differently? That if we begin and we connect with what we really are, with our love, the love that we are, this acts as a kind of magnet and attracts people. So you will see that spontaneously your life begins to be full of love, and people come to you without effort. And this is the way it works. But why do we suffer? Because we are used to do it the other way. We are used to look outside first. And so all become a question of effort, of obligation, and that's why all bad feelings come to our life. Okay, let's go on. I don't know who wants to read. Pablo.
Me.
What?
Attachment creates dependence on the object of attachment, which is why when people don't attack the way we want them to, or our belief and opinion are challenged, we become afraid and angry.
I remember that some meetings ago, we watched a video of Krishnamurti about love. And there were many words, some of them associated with love, and some of them with what it is not love. And here we have one, dependence is not love. We always associate love with what? With freedom. So what happens? If you feel that you need something to be happy, and that the other has to give you something, you become what? Dependent. And is there where the needs arises and suffering arises. And it talks also about the beliefs and the opinions. When our beliefs or our opinions, we are so attached in some cases to our opinions or to our beliefs that we think that they are the only one valid or true. So when they are challenged, with challenge, it happens the same as change. It can be used as a verb or as a noun. And here we have, this is a big challenge for me. It is used as a noun, or your opinions can be challenged. Desafiadas, así como cuestionadas, diríamos in Spanish. Okay. And this is also, you know that I always say that this space of the workshop is an invitation to go beyond. And this is a way that we always say that spirituality has to do with what? With self-inquiry. Con que nos empecemos a preguntar. And self-inquiry is what? A indagar en nosotros mismos. But not with the intention to judge. No con la intención de juzgarnos, but only to observe. When we feel angry, when we feel alone, when we feel ignored, when we feel that we are not enough, from where it comes all this? ¿Por qué sentimos eso? And I love the way Mushi puts it, because it is very simple. We don't have to get lost in regrets, porque no es una cuestión de, porque ¿qué nos pasa? Nos perdemos en la culpa muchas veces, ¿vieron? Pero no tiene nada que ver con eso. It has nothing to do with this. It has to do with that we are identified with what we are not. Que estamos identificados con lo que no somos. So.
And this situation, are you telling you or asking about what come to your life, and to say something, and you had to try to understand that the meaning of the facts it was successing of.
Yes.
Why? Why you?
That
yes. In this moment.
We have to trust.
It's the question for all.
Yes. And to see beyond, to open, or there are many, there are a lot of ways, but you can choose the way that fits you. And Eckhart Tolle says to become comfortable with not knowing. Tenemos que empezar a sentirnos cómodos con no saber, porque muchas veces es eso, que no entendemos, ¿vieron? We don't understand why is this happening to me. But
and when you use the fork, it's an easy solution, because you had to something or someone to, or somebody to take the fault, you or others.
Yes. And it's there is another phrase, yes, that says that it is not the other. Never is the other. Nunca es el otro. The other only activates something that is already in us. For what? For us to heal. Heal is a very heal is sanar. para que lo podamos ver y lo sanemos. That is the purpose of all that happens in our lives. Let's see. I wanted to go to the other attachment, create dependence. Here. Okay. Let's go on reading. So, what happens? Aiza.
Okay. This cycle of false security, fear, anger, anger, and then violence is what destroys society. It begins at home, and then it spreads all across the globe as wars. If you can kill in the name of love, it never was love, but attachment.
Well, this is another very simple thing that we have to learn. That I'm sure that you have heard this phrase, that all begins at home. All begins in our relationship with our close, in our close relationships.
Or worse, it begins with ourselves. How do you say?
Yes, ourselves.
Ourselves. Because the first love is with ourselves.
Yes.
We don't know how to love
Ourselves.
We can't know how to love anything or anyone else.
Yes. The world is like a mirror. It's like a mirror of ourselves. It reflects. That's why he says also, Mushi, that when you become empty, empty of thoughts, empty of desire, empty of your projections, you make this space to the presence of God arise within you. And so you become what? The reflection of God. And that is what you bring to the world and what the other people see in you. So all begins, that's why it is very connected with what you say, but all begins, that's why they stress that all begins within. You have to go within first, to know who we are, to know, to connect, and to love. To love what you are, and to understand. That's why, to understand you, yourself. And it's magic, because when you begin to love yourself, you see that everyone is a reflection of you. So it becomes easier to understand other people. That you fail, well, other people can fail too. Okay.
I believe that we have to learn to be compassive, but to have, how do you say, compassion?
Compassionate. To have compassion, yes.
With ourselves, and then we can start to be compassive, no.
Compassionate, yeah.
Compassionate, the rest of.
We were talking about the words that are associated to love. Compassion is a word that is very, very connected and related to love. Compassion, peace. Okay. Caring, care. Care is a word that is very associated also. El cuidado del otro. And yesterday we were also talking about that it is not important. The most important thing is from where you say things, you act. That's why it is important first to go within. You connect with the love that you are. And then from this place, you act. And so, love is everywhere. It's like this, my friends. So, let's go on. Mariel.
Cari,
Yes.
Cari,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
In the other plaque, I can understand why finish with but attachment.
This cycle here is, no? Yes.
Yes.
Let me put here.
Sería eso.
But it's not always pero, because we are the most usual meaning. But we see it used at the beginning of the sentence. But here is sino. If you can feel in the name of love, it never was love but attachment. No, nunca fue amor, sino apego. That's the meaning here.
Clearly.
Okay. Let's go on. Mariel.
Yes. Love is never violent. Attachment pretends to be love, and it spreads fears and violence in its name. You can never hurt, harm, or kill in the name of love, but you can do so in attachment.
That is when we, yes, it is taken to an extreme here. But if we do self-inquiry and we think about why are still wars in our world, ¿por qué hay guerras todavía? Why do people fight? Because of attachment. Yes, because they think that a land or an opinion or a religion is the best, or if it's a question of possession. They kill in the name of because they want something, and they think that this something is theirs and it's not of someone else. Attachment pretends to be love. Pretends is a synonym of sins. Parece. Pretends es eso. It is a false friend in English because no es pretender. Pero bueno, sí, también por ahí en Spanish pretender es como también como querer ser algo o mostrar algo que uno no es. Entonces, pretends to be love.
Look like también.
Look like, it seems, look like. All these we can here. We can put it, well,
Pretends no es, no es, yo creí que era pretende. ¿Se traduce así literal o no es? Pretends.
Pretends. Esperen que
Pretends.
les voy a ver si puedo insertar un acá.
There is a song which is The Great Pretender,
The Great Pretender, yes, The Great Pretender.
which is originally from Los Plateros, but Queen or Freddie Mercury sung The Great Pretender.
I smile because Vito and Pablo love music, and they always had an example of a title of a song when for our to improve our vocabulary. Yes, The Great Pretender, and we were saying that to pretend is a synonym of to seem or yes, to be like. It is like to. It is like to something. It's like because it is the expression like to is always used in a comparison also. To be like something, to be similar, or to pretend to be something, to seem to be something. Es como querer ser algo que uno no es, mostrarse. And we always say that what is. Yesterday we talked about this also. We have a very a very rich and conversation with Isa that
Rich and deep, no?
and deep,
conversation.
yes. That we were talking about what is when we talk about the magnetism of love. We said that what is that attracts people. If you're authentic, if you are genuine, if you are sincere, if you are honest, if you are just as you are, that is what attracts people. And it is, I remember this now because it is the opposite of to pretend to be someone that you are not, or to seem to be another. That's why it has to do with ego also. That Mushi said always that the ego is like a mask that covers our true self. That is why he says it is not what we really are. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Here, we were talking about coming back to yourself and what it says here. Vic, do you want to read?
I thought it was Jose's turn, but
well, Jose.
I don't know.
Jose first.
Jose, is your turn to read?
I don't know. It's Jose.
No, se congeló.
Sí.
It's frozen. So I'm going to read. To end the fear and conflict in the world, and the attachment within yourself. Your greatest gift to humanity is you letting go of your attachments.
So you first have to end with the attachments within yourself. And what it does it mean? It means to this. Pablo, do you want to read?
Okay. Stop asking others for emotional, physical, or financial security. Become self-reliant in all ways imaginable. Without self-reliance, there is no hope for true connection, only dependence and desire to control.
Yes. I always use this kind of opposites because seeing the opposites, we can understand better the meaning of the words. And this is what is to be self-reliant. It's the opposite of being dependent and autonomous. So, and self-reliant has to do with to feel secure emotionally, emotionally secure. That is the same of saying that we don't have to look for love outside. Love is here. It is the same. And we were talking about the words that are associated and related. Control. Control is not love. Control, dependence, attachment are all connected. And love is just the opposite. Love is freedom, and control cannot live together. No pueden convivir el amor, o sea, la libertad con el control. So that is what we have to start observing. It is not a question of thinking. It's just observing in ourselves.
Kari, why do you say observing and not observe? Start to observe. What do you say? Start to observe. Start observing.
Because it's the first step. That's why we today we are going to finish our meeting with a short contemplation of Mushi that is called The Power of Detachment. And he says, you know that other masters put and focus on some techniques or to meditate. And he says, the first thing you have to do is just observe. Why? Because because when we sit and we want to meditate, what happens? Our mind attacks us. We have there are a lot of thoughts that come. And he said, don't reject them, just observe. Why? Because with this simple act, you know that you are not your thoughts. O sea, solamente cuando uno empieza a observar, es el primer paso que vos te das cuenta de que vos sos algo diferente de tus pensamientos, de que tus pensamientos no son vos, estás separado.
Sí, pero yo te preguntaba porque empezar, tú dijiste, start observing. Entonces, como sé que a veces se usan terminados en ing, pero no sabía si correcto es start observe o start observing. O
Yes, start observing. Yes.
Okay.
Se usa mucho, el otro día lo vimos también, de estas expressions with the ing form. And una que vos dijiste es esa de que se usa mucho con el verb to like, con like, con stop y con start. Vos podés decir, o sea, stop plus ing form. Y vos usaste, en lugar de stop, usaste start. We can begin with, por ejemplo, start observing our thoughts. Está bien. Se puede decir de las dos formas. O podés usar el infinitivo de decir, I begin with start to observe. Start to observe. Ahí sí. Si usás el infinitivo, le tenés que poner el to adelante. To observe.
Okay.
Pero ellos, you will see that in English, they are fans of ing form. The ing form is everywhere in English. And that's why nosotros le decimos el gerund, el gerundio, pero ellos no usan la ing form. Vieron que estábamos hablando de los sufijos. Bueno, no es un sufijo, nosotros por ahí decimos que los sufijos son útiles porque podemos descubrir cuál es digamos, el significado de la palabra a través del sufijo. Y el otro día veíamos, por ejemplo, qué sé yo, de suffix ness, que vieron que acá, bueno, ahora vamos a ver en la contemplation de Mushi, que aparecen muchas palabras que terminan en ness, porque es la marca del sustantivo abstracto. En esos casos sí, pero por ejemplo, no podemos hablar de suffix ing, porque el sufijo ing puede significar 1000 cosas diferentes o puede tener muchas funciones en inglés. A veces tiene la función de sustantivo, a veces tiene la función de verbo, y ellos lo usan everywhere. Y si vos me preguntás, ¿está correcto decirlo de las dos formas? Yes, it is correct. But why is the most common the ing form? O sea, la forma con ing es la que más usa en ello. Por ejemplo, y con stop, qué sé yo, lo usan mucho with the habits. I stop smoking to mean you quit something. Stop doing this. O lo usaba, lo vimos en el otro, porque habíamos visto, me acuerdo, una placa de Krishnamurti que hablaba de look and look forward and look at something, y ellos usan mucho también la expresión looking forward, cuando vos looking forward to doing something, looking forward as a kind of desire, when you have a strong desire for something, usas el looking forward, y esa expresión de looking forward se usa mucho con el ing form, siempre. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. I'm looking forward to celebrating my party next week, for example. Entonces, in the case of doubt, use ing form.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, well, we come to the last, and then we listen to the contemplation. Well, Jose has come back. Are you here now? You have frozen.
I'm disappeared because before pretend something, and when I don't pretend something, I'm nothing. Doesn't disappear.
When you are just as you are nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ¿cómo sería? Corte de luz.
Yeah. This card I bought it in Sahasha, and it says, nothing is. To utter such a statement, one first be nothing. What is to be nothing? To be empty. Well, Jose, you are here, but you are nothing. You have come back, but you are nothing. Okay, let's read the last sentence.
If you are self-reliant, ¿sería?
Reliant.
Reliant, you will be free. If you are free, you will give the freedom to others. The first name of love is freedom. The one who recognizes this live in a way that heals the world.
It is very beautiful, this last sentence. If you are self-reliant, you will be free. If you are free, you will give that freedom to others. That's it is so why it is so important to connect, to be authentic, to be ourselves. And Mushi speaks about the fragrance of love. If we are connected with what we are, this love spreads, and others benefit from what we are. The one who recognizes this, it is another way of saying the same, que es conectar, reconocer eso en nosotros. The one who recognizes this lives in a way that heals the world. Heals the world. It's very, very beautiful. That I always say that it is something that begins with ourselves, but it has an enormous power, because if one of the first phrases I heard from a friend that I love, Marina, who lives in Buenos Aires and is one of my spiritual friends. She always says, si sana uno, sanamos todos. Y es verdad eso. Tenemos que sanar, no solamente y comprometernos, we have to commit to ourselves, we have to make this commitment of healing, because if we heal, we can help the world to heal. And from, not just from our words, just with our presence. Vieron que eso pasa, que por ahí cuando hay gente que está, ese es el magnetismo del amor que dice Mushi. ¿Por qué que nosotros queremos estar con ellos? Uno lo ve a Mushi y quiere estar ahí. ¿Por qué? Porque él ya está ahí y te transmite algo, esa vibración, this vibration of love. Well, you can do the same. You can be, because you already are. This is it has to be our choice. Tenemos que elegir eso. Well, my friends, it has been a very, we have taken a lot of benefit from this text. So now I will share the contemplation about here. First, we can see the text a bit. This is what, because we were talking about attachment. And what is the opposite of attachment? Detachment. So this contemplation we are going to listen, that is very short, talks about this. Isa, do you want to read?
Okay. The power of detachment. Detach yourself from everything, from past, from everything that comes. From everything that comes to the mind and the sense. The sense or the senses?
The senses, because it is in plural. If it is singular, we say sense. If not, senses.
Senses. From everything that comes to the mind and the senses. Be aware of them, but consciously detached. ¿Sigo? One?
Yes.
Or not?
Mm.
Okay.
Another, and then
Okay.
another one can see.
Be detached also of the sense of your personal self.
Yes, be detached. Here is it is a very little difference in the meaning, in the pronunciation when you say detached or to be detached. Detached, it's well. I don't know who wants to go on. Soon, Pablo, do you want to go on?
Okay. Soon you will find that all action carried or be themselves, there is no
Carried
judgment,
on by themselves.
carrying on by themselves. There is no judgment, no fear. Outwardly, life goes on, but within this detachment. So inwardly, there's stillness, emptiness. There is a alreadiness here, and there is no oneness in all things.
Here we say that we see that all the words with ness ending, because we are talking about something that is beyond the physical world. And this difference between outwardly and inwardly. Afuera y adentro. Outwardly, life goes on, continues, but within this detachment. So, inwardly, there is. O sea, la vida continúa afuera y todo va y viene y está okay, it's fine. But inwardly, what we feel? Stillness, emptiness, alreadiness. Alreadiness has to do with the title of the song, that you are here before. Alreadiness, something that already is algo que ya está. Already, I am here already. Alreadiness. Todo ya es. And there is a oneness in all things. Oneness as the opposite of separation. And what happens, Vic? The last two sentences.
In this outwardly no, in this detachment.
Yes.
In this detachment, there's peace. You can do this anytime you want until it ceases being an action and simply is.
Okay. Here you have the, the use of ing form. Ceases until it ceases being an action, it ceases, it stop. Cease is a synonym. Cease is a synonym of stop. So that's why we were talking about stop plus ing form. And we can say until it stop being an action and simply is.
Sí, is César.
Claro, cesar. It's similar to Spanish. But what happens that in English, there are many, many words that are very similar to Spanish because they have a root, a Latin root. Tienen una raíz latina. Pero ellos, they are too formal for them. O sea, ellos siempre, para el everyday language, they are not used. For example, instead, and in some cases, it happens the same too in Spanish, but not always. Que tenemos muchas palabras que son muy similares, pero ellos no usan la de la raíz latina, porque la usan más en un contexto de formalidad a las palabras que son similares y tienen raíz latina. usan, for example, here in this case, they don't use thesis in a everyday language. They use stop. Okay. And the
This is the same from that word. Disease, deceso, no?
disease, yes, the disease, yes. Disease. Okay. Is to stop living. It is connected also. Yes. It's the same.
But Carrie, it not diseases like enfermedad.
Or ese es disease, o si no es
sounds like the same, but you
yes,
write it different.
disease. No, exacto. Disease. Eso is the same as illness. Okay. Well, my friends, now we are going to... my battery is... Esperen que pongo... ahí está.
Low battery.
Low battery. Okay. I will share the... esperen que la tengo que buscar. The contemplation, the power of detachment. Here is it. So, share. The power of detachment. De nuevo me desapareció. Ok.
My wife asked me this morning, the class is 2 hours. No, I said 1 hour a quarter.
Well, we are finished. We are almost in an hour and a quarter. And a 3/4.
God speak through my wife.
Okay. Well, my friends.
Beloved, I want to invite you into a most profound and simple exercise. Just as you're here with me, continue to detach yourself from everything, from past, from every thought, everything that comes to the mind or senses. Be aware of them, but consciously detach from all of them. I invite you also to detach even from the sense of your personal self. Every shape, every thought or memory. Detach. Do not pick up anything new. Stay empty, like this, consciously. Soon you'll find that all actions carry on by themselves. There's no judgment, no fear, nor even identity. Outwardly, life flows on. Breathing is there, activities carry on. But within this detachment, so inwardly, there's a stillness, an emptiness. There's nothing to be or become. There is an alreadiness here. But it is not ready or unready. It's simply the space of being, one's natural state. Notice that life flows outwardly. Inwardly, there's a stillness, a detachment, and there's a oneness with all things. Detachment is an action that happens. There's no one doing it. And in this detachment, there's peace. Now I want you to take this with you, to be with this throughout your day, noticing that actions, reactions, interactions are happening inside this stillness of being. And be serious about it. Stay with it. Be one with it. Delight in your own emptiness. Impersonally, abide as this. You can do this any time you want, until it ceases being an action and simply is. Om. Bless you.
Well, my friends, try to stay with it. Until it stops being an action and simply is. Well, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful meeting. This beautiful sharing. Have a wonderful weekend. And see you.
See you.
Bye-bye.